All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Charger and Friends. And tonight is going to be great. We're going to be going over one of my favorite topics, and I'll break into that in just a little bit. We'll be talking everything real estate, bird dogging. If you're new, trying to get involved into the space, I'm going to tell you exactly how to be able to do so. We're going to do some housekeeping first. Got some guests that are coming on and people chiming in. So we'll make sure to get everybody situated and turn my ringer off. Hope you all had a great day. I wish I could show you guys my schedule. I've been talking to agents all day today, and it's been hella fun. It's a lot of ups and downs when you're working with people in general, but agents especially. You have to make sure you have the right expectations when you're dealing with them. So it's cool. So agents, sellers, if you are wholesaling, if you are an investor doing fix and flips, if you are looking to do new construction, this is the place. This is where you want to be able to go. Now, I will say this. This is going to be for my people who are in two categories, okay? That category is either going to be you are new and looking to get started in real estate, or it's going to be you are doing real estate, but you want to start earning some money on the side, right? If you are like anybody else, you know the real estate market has changed, right? It has been different, and that's supposed to take place, right? So I don't want no one to be afraid of real estate. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Rock, yesterday, and we was talking about real estate deals. And we was like, man, real estate is not for the weak at heart. And that's the truth. It's the honest to God truth. It's not. But doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Okay. There's so many millionaires, multi-millionaires who have made money from real estate. And so it's exciting. It's a space you want to be in. But can we all agree that not everyone can be in real estate the same way, right? And I think let me turn my chair so I can really sit down with my peoples. I think that's the main problem that we're seeing, especially when the market changes and such, right? We're seeing a lot of people who want to be in the space, want to do real estate. They're having problems because they're like, yo, how come it's so difficult for me? I watched the YouTube videos. I saw I purchased the course. Okay. I went to the event. How come it's difficult for me when I'm trying to do it? And the honest to God truth is, whoever your favorite guru, teacher, etc., I want you to understand there's two sides of them. Okay. There's the educational side and then there's the marketing side. And so the marketing side has to do what it do best, which is market. Think about it this way. If you turned on your TV, it's 2:00 in the morning, you can't sleep. You turn on your TV and it's an infomercial selling you a real estate course. And to sell the course, it told you all the ways you're going to fail, lose money, go bankrupt, like all the bad things is going to tell you that. That's what it's selling you. How many people would buy that course? No, you would skip. You'd be like, I'm not buying this. Why would I spend my money on this? They're telling me all the ways that I'm going to fail, right? So they got to jazz it all up, right? They might tell you it's hard, but they don't tell you how it's hard. So for the most part, your expectations is completely warped. It's completely off, right? Michelle is saying, I'm new. You're probably in that same boat, right? You're listening to other people's stories winning. You're like, man, this is great. I'm gonna get in here and it's gonna be easy, just like it was for them. The reality is real estate is not for the weak at heart. It takes a lot of work, but if you have the proper expectations, when you're going through, it is 10 times easier. I've only witnessed one person in particular. And some of my people I see that's on here, I recognize. I see my sisters that's on here doing their thing. I appreciate it. But they're part of an organization you might recognize my logo, Sub 2. Also, shout out to my Astro family. They're some of the only two organizations that I've ever seen give the good and the bad, right? Really show you what it takes to win. But in order to do that, you have to have some form of like community. You need somewhere you can go back to and be able to say, hey, I need help, right? This part sucked. Why did it suck? Or I'm stuck right here. How do I get help? And unfortunately, no matter what you want to believe, you can't do that online. That's not something you're going to be able to build online. That has to be something that you build directly from a community. You need people you can count on, that you can go back to in order to be able to get things answered, have problems solved, and then more importantly, for you to learn, which is the biggest aspect of this, right? Like, you being able to learn this game is really how you succeed. So before I get into like the thick of it all, I really want to teach from a standpoint. I always like to give the mind frame first, because I feel like if I give you the right mind frame, then at that point you'll be able to fully understand and take in the stuff that we're going to give tonight. Okay. Now, if you see me looking away, I got two screens. I'm multitasking it all, so just bear with me there, right? All right, so here we go. What I really want to showcase is, when you're getting started, most people will tell you the best place to get started in real estate is to wholesale, right? So how many people here are actually wholesalers? Give me something in the chat. Let me know if you're a wholesaler. I see Nate's in the house. What's up, bro? All right. All right, perfect. You see a couple people that are wholesalers. Now, how many people here have been wholesaling for, let's say, longer than 2 years? If you've been wholesaling for longer than 2 years, put a 1 in the chat. And if it's been less than 2 years, put a 2 in the chat. Let's get a good vibe of how many people we got here and where they at in their space. All right. Okay. And now, if you're just catching on, we are streaming this live. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We are on, I believe we're on Instagram Live as well. But if you are new in wholesaling and this is like your 2 years in, you have a different appreciation for how wholesaling works than you would if you essentially just getting started, right? And why is that? Well, that's because systems is different. The market is different, right? When 2 years ago was a golden era in real estate. In fact, if you were doing anything inside of 2, 3, 4 years ago, you literally can just take a sheet of paper. Okay, you could take a sheet of paper and you could say, hey, here's this sheet of paper. It's a real estate contract. Who wants it? You could step outside your house with a real estate piece of paper with a contract and it would get sold. Literally, that's how great the market was. People were buying left and right because prices was at the right point. And people who did buy right now, their properties appreciated 200-300%, which is kind of crazy, but that's what the market was giving, right? Now, here's the problem. And this is why I believe bird dogging is actually one of the greatest things that people can do right now. When you hear about the stories of people doing real estate, wholesaling, and then you decide to get started. Now, you're getting started today or within the last 2 years, you're getting started based off of, what was previously done. All right, I'm seeing some people said they're not seeing me on Facebook Live or IG. All right, so let's see. Let's figure it out. I'm going to jump on IG here.
You read that right. I'm 300.
All right, and then we'll just Hit the live button right here. Thank to my peoples looking out for me, making sure we do this, get this out. All right, here we go. So now we're set up. This should be coming on Facebook Live. Let's add the title. It's called Bird Doggin. All right, perfect. All right, so we should be good. So another thing, this is actually a really good example. I want you guys to understand in real estate, whatever you plan to go right will definitely go wrong. Okay. If you're one of the individuals that's like, listen, I'm trying to do this, but it needs to be perfect, forget it. It's not going to be perfect. In fact, okay, so when let's say you get a property, you get it under contract, okay, and now you're like, okay, cool, I got this property under contract, I'm ready to go. This is perfect. This is exactly what they said in the videos. Now that I got it under contract, I'm going to sell it really fast and there's going to be absolutely no problems. I am here to tell you, as your friend, that is a lie. Okay, just because you got something on the contract does not mean there's not going to be any problems. In fact, as you have it on the contract, there's going to be problems, right? There's plenty of deals. Agents and sellers could tell you this. There's plenty of deals that fall out of contract at the closing table, right? I'm saying all this because it's super important, not just for real estate, but for business in general, for you to have the right expectation in order to succeed. The reason why majority of people who look to get started in real estate are not succeeding is not because it's hard. I want to be clear. It is not because it is hard. It is because you don't have the proper expectations. You don't have the right mind frame, the framework in your mind of like what it takes to succeed and how and all this other things. And so because of that, when you come across your first trial and tribulations, self-doubt starts to kick in. You don't have the right community around you. So now all of a sudden you feel that, hey, I don't think this is working. You have no support. And then you end up in this cycle of like, I'm going to try it again. No, it don't work. I'm going to try again. No, it doesn't work. That is not how you're going to succeed, as you can obviously tell, right? Kat says, I've been out the loop for a few months since they changed commissions in New York. Yeah, no, it's been tough for agents, especially out. If you are from New York, where I'm from Philly, and in the northeastern space, it's crazy. It's crazy talk. But this is also one of the good things. I want you guys to know whenever something becomes difficult in one avenue, it actually becomes even better if you learn how to pivot. Right. So, for example, with agents, one of the things that we've been doing with a lot of agents recently is, I don't say recent, I would say maybe for like the last 12 months, we've been working with a lot more agents. And what we've been doing is showing and teaching agents how to make money outside of just a traditional sale. And so how that's been benefiting them and us is they've been finding more deals that originally they would just throw away or they get fired from. And then they in turn are sending those deals to us where we're purchasing those deals creatively. And then now they're able to make money still. Their sellers able to make money or get out of a situation that had no way out. And then we can take these properties. In fact, we just purchased a property over in Decatur. And this is actually going to be a good way for us to kick into this, right? We purchased a property over in Decatur that was brought to us essentially by someone who's bird dogging. Okay. They got paid off of it. An agent was involved. We negotiated the deal. The agent's getting paid. The person who brought the deal, the bird dog, the wholesaler, they're getting paid. The seller is getting paid. And I'll tell you the full details of what the seller's getting out of this in just a second. But the seller's getting paid. We're getting a property with a 3.215 interest rate over in Decatur. The house across the street that is identical to this property just sold for 400 something thousand. Okay. Now we're hanging on to this property because we're actually going to turn this property into a co-living. And by the time we get done, we'll be able to get it at 9 beds, 4 baths, spitting out money, helping people. I want you to pay attention to that. Not only are we helping all of our team, our contractors, we have our contractors over there right now, GCs, subcontractors are working on it. When we get done, we'll have people who originally wouldn't be able to afford to be able to live anywhere close in that area now has a beautiful property they can stay and call their own and feel safe and be able to afford it. The agent got paid off for this deal, which the agent wasn't going to get paid for him before. Then on top of that, the seller, who I'm not going to put all their business out right now, but let's just say it was a very difficult situation for the seller. They not only was getting ready to get into foreclosure because they already had a COVID relief. So they had stopped making payments and then they pushed it to the back and they still couldn't catch up all the payments. They was getting ready to go to foreclosure. They already had a, delinquent bankruptcy situation. We cleared all of that off. And now the seller's able to move. House is going to be in our care. We own the property now. And they now get to move on without having any more negativity happening in their life because of this property. Now, here's the best part of this. The person who brought me the deal originally didn't even bring me the deal. Okay, originally, this is what happened. Originally, this person had got the deal and they was getting ready to do the deal themselves. They were trying to figure it out. And this is why I keep saying community, community, community. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you know I'm big on community. I'm big on networking. I do local events 4 times a month, all different corners of Georgia, just to make sure that people are getting access to everything that they need so that they can succeed in this space. Okay. And the more we connect, the more opportunities open up for us to make money. So he had this property for about 2-3 weeks. He was trying to figure it out. He went on a contract. He got out of contract, couldn't get the money involved. In fact, that property, we have private money lenders that are funding the whole entire property. And they're going to get 27% cash on cash return on that deal, which is phenomenal. It's unheard of. All right. So he comes to one of my events and he's like, yo, I need help. I got this deal. I'm trying to make it work. And I just don't know how to make it work. Right. I'm at the point now where I feel like I'm going to lose this deal. And I don't want to. He was trying to do some things where he can maybe get into the property himself. And cool. People at the event are like, oh, I help. I link up with him maybe 2-3 days later and say, hey, do you still need help on this particular property? He breaks it all down and I take my time to help him reconstruct this deal that was falling apart. Okay. He ends up instead of him trying to take the deal, he ends up realizing he didn't even want this deal. Right? The reasons why he thought he wanted this deal wasn't even it. At the end of the day, most of the time people will say, hey, look, I want to get started. I want to own some properties. But again, what the expectation is, it is expensive to own properties. Even if you can buy creative finance, it is expensive to own properties. The maintenance, the upkeep, if you do not have a nest egg set aside, you are playing a dangerous game. Ask me how I know, I will tell you. Okay. My first buy and hold that I got here in Atlanta, Georgia, it was over by the airport. Okay. I got this property creatively. Of course, I'm a creative guy. If I can, I will creatively buy everything. All right. I even went to Walmart and tried to sell a Snickers bar. It didn't work, but I tried it. That's all that matters. Anyway, so I get this property, phenomenal deal. I'm like, bet, I'm going to turn this to an Airbnb. We're going to kill it. This is when Airbnb was hot in Atlanta. Properties by the airport. I'm like, yo, this is a wrap. In my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm retiring off of this. This is how much money I'm about to make off of this one right here. Okay. Here's what happened in reality. In real life, a week after the property was purchased, the water heater went out. Random. We did full inspection. Water heater was fine. A week after, water heater goes out. I'm like, all right, cool. That's no problem. We'll work with that. Kat, I want to be live and Kat, you gotta come to Atlanta. I got so much stuff that I want to do with you, and I mean we definitely connect. We definitely connect. The week after, water heater. I'm like, all right, not a problem. $700. Mind you, when you rent a property, whether you do Airbnb or whatever it is your exit strategy is, okay, you have a cap expense. This is a percentage of how much money you get that you set aside to be able to save for the rainy day, the oh shits, the damn, I can't believe that happened. You're setting that aside. You only saving 10, 20%, 25% if you want to be aggressive to do stuff like that with. Okay. In month one, I spent $700. Do you know how many months ahead I am on that? But wait, there's more. So now that following month, all right, now we're back. Everything's loaded. We're going to get some new people into the property. There's a huge storm. What happens during the storm? A tree falls down. It doesn't hit on top of the property, but it hit on the side. And so now I have to pay for a new roof. And on top of that, all the electricity went out. We had to get electricity set up in the property all over again because apparently it was set up wrong and the city never said anything about it. This is me 1 month, 2 months into this property. If I didn't have money set aside, I would have declared bankruptcy essentially, right? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, when you get ready to do buy and holds, you want to make sure you have a set amount already set aside. If not, it's not the end of the world. What you do is you wholesale or you bird dog so that you can be able to stack some money up. So if something happens, you prepared, right? This isn't about making a quick buck or a quick lick. Like, if you're talking about building wealth, you need to have a proper foundation so that you can do it and do it well. Is that making sense to everybody? I want to make sure I'm getting some feedback so it don't just seem like it's just me out here. I hope this is making sense to everybody. All right, good. Getting the feedback, seeing the love on Facebook as well. So it's perfect. All right. Let's see. Okay, cool. Looks like we're getting live on Facebook as well. All right, perfect. All right, so for those of you joining on Facebook, welcome. You probably missed like 15 minutes. It's okay. You'll all be able to catch the replay of this when we jump on. It'll be on YouTube. So if you need my YouTube channel, it's my name, EDDY, Eddie Charger. You should see it on the bottom of your screen as well. And I also have some cool stuff for you guys as well. So we'll get to that. So now let's get into bird dogging. Okay. And why I suggest, this is just my suggestion. I suggest you should bird dog instead of wholesaling. Now, when you are wholesaling, it takes a certain amount of, it requires certain things from you if you're going to wholesale. And if you want to wholesale and be successful at it, okay, I'm going to give you the truth. I'm going to give you the bad with the ugly and a little bit of everything in between, because I don't want you to just be like, oh, I know people that are wholesaling. I have friends of mine that are still wholesaling 6 figures a month. Every single month, they're clearing. The lowest month is 6 figures. Okay. A good buddy of mine, he just cleared 324 last month in February. Okay. Now, I'm sorry, 324,000. Okay. Now, how much did he have to spend in marketing every single month? Right. It's a business. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you guys wholesaling is great. And you can start wholesaling at any stage, but you need to have the proper expectations so you can understand, do I want to wholesale or do I want to do something else that will still bring me capital until I am ready to wholesale? So first things first, wholesaling is going to require a lot of your time. If someone's telling you you can wholesale part-time and be successful, they're not lying, but you have to be so organized and you have to have all your shit together. Like, it needs to be down, systems, all that needs to be in place. There are people who are wholesaling and work a full-time job. It is doable. I've done it. However, you have to know what you're doing and know how to do it extremely well. So that's the first thing. It's going to require time. The second problem with wholesaling is you have to learn certain things. One is you have to be great at underwriting. Now, if you don't know what underwriting is, it's when you take a deal and you're able to subtract how much expenses are going to be, which is at that point, you need to know what the repairs are. You need to know what they cost in your particular market. You also need to be able to figure out what all the other expenses is, the closing costs, agent fees, if an agent's involved. And there's some things in between that sometimes comes up that you need to be able to account for when you're getting ready to make an offer on a deal. The number one problem investors like myself and friends of mine that I know have with wholesalers who are just learning it and doing it and not really taking on the hat of I am a wholesaler is they suck at underwriting, right? They have no idea what it takes to not just purchase a deal, but also, okay, I'll prove it to you. If you're a wholesaler here, have you ever considered how much it actually takes to not just buy the property from you, wholesaler, fix it up, but then I have to sell the property and I have to pay an agent and all the other same fees. I have to do the same closing costs and et cetera again. So when you say, hey, look, I'm selling this property for 200,000 and you can fix it up. It's only going to cost you, 50,000 to fix it up, 250, and ARV is 300. You're going to make 50K spread. Where? How would I make 50K spread? First of all, I'm almost positive whatever you think is going to cost to fix this property up is wrong. And then second, whatever it is that you are considering my exit, the money that I actually get is also wrong. So if you don't learn that, and if you're a wholesaler, the only way you're going to learn that is if you talk to a person who's is an investor, excuse me, and they do fix and flips, or you yourself start to do fix and flips so you can learn what these costs are. Plain and simple. The third big reason why wholesaling is very difficult for some people and why investors hate wholesalers, just keeping it in the buck, is because wholesalers don't understand ARV. I had a friend of mine sent me a deal and he was like, hey, listen, I got to give you a heads up. The ARV on here is crazy. I was like, what do you mean? He said, I got the deal. The person that sent the deal over, the ARV is from 200. The comps that they use for this ARV is 200 to 500,000. What? How is that even possible? How is the comps from 200 to 500K? And it's not this person's fault. They just aren't really aware of exactly how to comp. I have comping videos. You can go to my YouTube and get how to comp videos. But I'll tell you right now, there are better comping videos that are out there. If you're an astro, we shouldn't even be having this conversation. You know how to comp with no problem, right? If you're not an astro, you can go to Jamil Danji. In fact, if you go to YouTube and type in straight out of comping, so not Compton, like out in LA, but comping, COMPIN, you'll see Jamil Danji, and he has a couple of guests that comes on, and they just comp properties all day, every day, right? Those two spots alone will hook you up, get you straight up, okay? And then now the next thing that makes it a little bit difficult for people to wholesale is understanding the cost that is involved. So you have to take in consideration marketing costs, skip tracing leads, mailers, what it costs to run software or CRMs. I mean, the average wholesaler minimum is going to spend 5K per month. That's regardless if you close the deal or not. All right. So these are some of the reasons why it's difficult to wholesale. And unless you're willing to take on that hat and learn how to do it and really dig in, it's going to be tough. You will not succeed. Just telling you straight up. It's more competition. You are taking on liability. How many people here are hearing about all the different places that now wholesaling is illegal? You cannot wholesale. In Philadelphia, a city where I went to high school and college, went to Temple, shout out to all my Temple kids. But if you wholesale there, if you wholesale more than two deals already, you're getting ready to go to jail. You can only wholesale one deal, I think it's every 6 months. Chicago's another place. You cannot wholesale. So for those of you that are wholesaling and you're in some of these places that the law is changing, Phoenix is also changing. It's not just an up north thing. I think North Carolina already changed. These laws, I believe, are going to happen nationwide. Now, remember what I said in the beginning. You just got to learn to pivot, okay? If you are still wholesaling and your city or your county or whatever, your state changes the rules on you, you can still do a transaction. You just need to double close, okay? We have funding. That's one of the things that I have in my lending business. We lend out people who are looking to double close on their deals all day, every day. It's nothing. It's literally just giving them money so that they can be able to close one transaction and then immediately go do the next transaction within the same 12, 24 hours. All right. Daniel said, Geno's a Pat. Man, that's a tough one, bro. And the crazy reason why it's tough, though, there's so many new spots now that is doing like really good cheesesteaks, bro. Like I don't know. I can't tell you. I'll tell you this. My man got a spot. Herman and his family, they got a spot that just opened up, and they doing cheesesteaks. They got salmon. It's phenomenal. Definitely check them out. I'll probably tag them or something like that in this thing. All right. So now we went over the cons in wholesaling. I'm gonna quickly go over the pros. As we all know, you can get higher cash flow deals, right? I think my highest transaction I ever did is 50K, one pop, one deal, wholesaling. That was dope. Okay. But you can make anywhere from 5 to, I would say, 30. I think the national average outside of like LA, right? Seattle, those places. I think it's like 12 to 15,000. Okay. When you're a wholesaler, you can control the deal, right? That can be a good or a bad thing. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, controlling the deal is not the best thing, right? You build your buyers list, you build a reputation of being a wholesaler of, hey, I get access to great deals and I sell them over to buyers, and you get to scale it into a business. Okay. Bird dogging is not something I would actually recommend you turn into a business, because you can do so much more than that. If you're willing to scale that, then it's time to put your big boy or big girl pants on. Let's turn it into an actual business, right? David asks, I'm in Chicago. Do double close in Chicago? Absolutely. If you guys need anything funding wise, you can go to Capital Investment Pod. That's POD, Capital Investment Pod @gmail.com. Just email them. I have an assistant, Samantha. She'll get it. She knows what to do, and she'll get back to you. All right. Now, let's go into why bird dogging makes a lot more sense for some people, or if you're getting started. Number one, bird dogging is super easy to start. It's quick. If you don't have a lot of time, it's perfect, because you can bird dog, especially what I'm going to show you guys. You can bird dog quick and easy. No challenger or anything like that. Bird dogging is also great because it's almost like an internship, so to speak, right? Like you learn on the job. And I'll tell you the reason why you're able to do that is because you are going to get with something that I call an anchor. If you're bird dogging and you don't have an anchor, you're literally just running really, really fast in circles. All right. There's no risk when you have an anchor, right? Which is super, super huge. And I'll go over that in just a second. And then also when you're bird dogging, you have no marketing budget. You don't need none. All right. And if the deal doesn't work out, you're not on the hook. You have no legal responsibility to the deal working out or not. Right now, I told you I was going to keep it 100 all day, every day. That's what I do. If we're talking about pros, let's talk about the cons. What's the cons of being a bird dog? Well, you're not going to get the same type of deal profits that you would as a wholesaler, right? I think the most I've ever seen a bird dog get paid is like 10K. On average, I know they can make anywhere from like, I would call it 500, I think, to about, I would say like 15. No, sorry, that's wholesalers. For average, I would say 5 to, I would say 7, 7.5 is a good range. I would see most of the time bird dogs would get paid. But if it's a really good deal, you can get it for 10, and you just get paid out. Now, you're getting paid less, yes, but you're also doing less work. Let's make sure we get that clear. Like, there's less work that's required of you. So I technically can actually make more money faster because I don't have to spend all of my time doing this actual activity. I can just be a bird dog and still make twice as much when you really think about it, right? Another con, though, is you're not going to get paid unless the deal closes. That's also the con on as a wholesaler too. So that's kind of a wash. There's no control over how the lead flow goes, right? When you get a lead, you send it over. You don't really get to control how and when it can close. For some people, that's going to be a problem, and I get it. But then it's time for you to be a wholesaler, right? Let's make it happen. If you are bird dogging, typically there's no equity or long-term upside. And I say typically because when you get to a certain level, and this may be something I go over, there's something that one of my mentors, Pace Morby, taught me, which is called the wedge method, which is mean you find a deal and then you're able to wedge yourself into the deal to be able to get equity or long-term upside on it, right? And then this is one of the other cons. You can't just squad or partner up with just anybody, right? You gotta really find a wholesaler and an anchor that can truly give you, what you're looking for, and you can trust them. Now, we can always legal everything up, and I'll go over that in just a second. But that's the con, right? When you control the deal, you have it on the contract, so it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to stay protected. All right. So I hope that makes sense. Let's jump into bird dogging and what you guys need in order to bird dog. So it's very simple. I was actually going to see if I can share my screen. I think that'd be dope if I can. So I'm going to try to figure out if I can share my screen with you guys real quick, just so I can show you how to bird dog and how to be able to do it. This is one method I'm showing you guys. Okay. This is not the end all be all. There's several different ways to bird dog. In fact, one of the ways that you can bird dog, I will show you guys in another video. So what I'm gonna do is I kind of created a bird dog pack for anyone that's here. If you want the bird dog pack, I'm gonna tell you what's in it. Okay. So in the bird dog pack, it's gonna be a PDF that's just gonna go over some just regular stuff like, hey, what's a bird dog? How do you make money? Some examples of the deals, how much a bird dog can get paid, so you know how to negotiate for yourself. What's the difference again between bird dog and wholesaling, and how to avoid mistakes, like rookie mistakes that you can make, right? And then I'm also going to show you guys how to find off-market deals, whether that's driving for dollars, or Facebook Marketplace, which is what we're going to go over today. Not Marketplace, I'm actually going to go with Facebook groups. But you can find it in Craigslist, pre-foreclosures, auctions, Zillow, Redfin. I'm going to go over a few just to kind of show you guys how to do it, but you can take that and run with it. All right. Then I'll get you guys a checklist, and also I will get you guys an agreement template so you can use. This is what you're going to use with your anchor so that you can know that you're protected. This deal works out, you'll get paid, which is obviously very important. And then just a tracker, somewhere for you can track it. I like to keep things super simple and easy. I'm going to set it up for you guys. It's going to be in Google Sheets. So that way, anywhere you are in the world, as long as you got internet, you can be able to use it. And then I'll have a video that is set aside for anyone who wants to be able to learn what we're doing, how to be able to do it. You'll be able to watch the video, how to spot a deal in 15 minutes or less. Okay, so I'll go over all that. That will be in the bird dog pack. If you want it, what I'll have you all do, because I literally just thought about this yesterday. I was like, listen, I want to do something for my people out here. Here's what I have you do. If you go to my Instagram and you DM me and just say, can I get a bird dog pack? Can I get a bird dog pack? I'll make sure that you get the bird dog pack. I'll email it over to you. All right. So again, my Instagram is EDDY Charger. DM me and say, hey, can I get a bird dog pack? And you'd be good to go. Now, here's what you need. And we're going to wrap this up in 10 minutes because I don't like long videos, right? Unless we run it, but I'm tired. I'm not trying to stay here all night with you guys. Okay. I'm trying to relax. Okay. And do some bird dogging on my own. So here we go. First off, what you want to do is you want to get an anchor. Okay. An anchor is one buyer that, okay, Alex is ahead. He said, can I get a bird dog pack, please? I got you, Alex. As soon as I get done, everybody will be able to get it within the next 24 hours, guaranteed. So first thing that you want to do is you want to find an anchor. Now, what is an anchor and where can you find anchors? An anchor is a real estate investor that is actively buying. Now, where can you find these people? Everywhere, literally. Okay, if you go to the courthouse steps during the time they're having an auction, all the people that's out there, those are all anchors. You can find people, you can look on a post and you can see if somebody posted on there a deal, and you literally can find an anchor. So I'm going to show you here. Let me share my screen. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to figure out how to share screen for you guys. All right, here we go. Present, share. Perfect. All right, let's see. Boom, boom. All right, do me a favor. Those that are on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, you can't see this, but you can join on YouTube or you can join on Facebook or just wait for the replay. All right. But can you guys see this? You guys should see I'm in a chat, right? A group. It's called Cash Buyers and Investors. This is how you can find a anchor, right? And look, I just logged on here. And here, looking for new wholesalers to help close their first deals. Okay, cool. That's not what I'm looking for. Looking for new wholesalers. Another one. I'm a realtor looking for a wholesaler. Okay, cool. I'll go back to those. Those are also things that you can use. All right. I have an off-market property, multifamily, single family, and cash buyers list. All right. I'm urgently looking for a buyer. I have one under contract, 95, off-market, boom, 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 bang. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who posted a deal. Okay, Michael posted this deal and he said, I'm looking for a buyer. The people that's in his comments are gonna either say this, I'm interested, inbox me. All right. Interested, DM me more. How long did that take me to find buyers? It didn't take me long at all. Right? I literally just found out. Again, I'm scroll down. I'm looking to get a cash buyers list, okay? Looking for land cash buyers, boom. 10 comments, land cash buyers. Now, if I'm already interested in land deals, then I would definitely be like, all right, let me find people who are working in land. Let me find the buyers who are buying in land. And now, what do I want to do when I find those buyers? Very simple. I'm gonna give you the script right here, right now. You're going to DM them, or if they gave their email, you're going to email them, and this will be in your pack, but I'm going to give it to you now so you can start doing this tonight. You're going to say, hello, my name is Eddie. I am new into real estate, and I am a bird dog. I want to find properties just for you. Can you send me your buy box telling me what you need, and I will prove to you that I am worth the time. Period. Spacebar, spacebar, spacebar. The only thing I require is if I send you a deal that doesn't fit your buy box for whatever reason, can you educate me on why it doesn't work so I can make sure I'm sending you better deals? I guarantee you guys, if anybody want to bet me, I'll bet you 10K. If you're talking to an anchor, they will drop to their knees and thank God that you sent them the email, because there's nothing that a fix and flipper wants more than someone that is willing to do the work that they don't want to do. Fix and flippers do not want to go out here and find properties. What they want to do is fix and flip. That's it. If you can set me up with the property and let me do the fix and flip, that's what I want to do, right? So you now found your anchor, and now you have your anchor, and you're going to say, okay, what does my anchor want to buy? So I'm going to give you guys an example. One of my markets that I'm buying is Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. And I'm looking in a particular, and I'll send you guys my buy box too. If you guys want a bird dog and you want me to be an anchor, or at least to just kind of learn, I will hook you up. So I'm looking in Atlanta. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, go to search, and I'm going to type in investment. And this is just one keyword. And if you guys want, I can actually throw in what keywords you should use for when you're doing searches like this, in particular, like on Facebook, which I think Facebook is a great place to do this, because you could be sitting in your bed for 30 minutes right before you go to bed, right? You talk to your anchor, you know what their buy box is, and now you're just going into different real estate groups and trying to see who has a property. So investment, well, let's make it real easy. Let's do Atlanta. I'm just going to type in Atlanta. All right. So here we go. Now, if you want, you can do most recent, so you can get the up-to-dates. Now, this is just searching in this thing right here. You see right here, cash buyers and investors. It's just searching in here. Okay. Now, I'm looking on one side of the piece of paper, or I wrote down what it is that my anchor wants. He's looking for properties in 30344. This says 30344. Wise had posted this. Now, I can also check, okay, do my anchor want a fix and flip? Okay, check. Do they want three bedroom, 1 bath, or do they want 3 bedroom, 2 baths, or what do they want? Oh, Eddie said he wants 3 bedroom, 2 baths. So this doesn't work. Now, I'm going to show you guys where most people mess up. This is where most people mess up. They see this right here and they go, okay, it doesn't work. And they scroll up. You lost. This person here is probably a wholesaler. And so what I would do is I would come in a comment. I would say, hey, Wise, this is a good one. I wouldn't mind taking a look at it. However, if you get any 3 bedrooms, so I'm just gonna put 3 twos. If you get any 3 twos, please send them my way ASAP. And then I drop my email. Now, I'll tell you something too. It's much faster to put your email in here than it is to tell a person in this message to DM you. Just drop your email. Let's make things easier for people to be able to get to the bag. All right. So now what I'm doing is I'm setting up all the Wise in this chat. So Wise, LeVar, whoever else, I'm setting them to bring me opportunities so I can skim through and see if they are the perfect fit for my anchor. Do you guys just see what I just showed you? Do you see why this is so much better than wholesaling? The property is already under contract. I'm just literally filing through a filing cabinet and picking out the ones that I know my anchor is interested in, and say, hey, I have a buyer who's interested in properties in this area. Can you send it to me? Just that simple, y'all. This is what it is to be a bird dog. Now, again, I'm giving you guys day one. I'm going to do 4 more of these. So when everybody gets their pack, then we'll do another live like this. I'll pick the date. We'll do another live. We'll do one over the next 4 weeks. And then you guys will have your pack. And every time you guys do it, come back. You have questions and stuff like that, we can kind of go over it. But each time I'll be showing you a different method in order to be able to do it. This is what I believe everybody should be doing. Guaranteed. So here's another one right here. All right, full rehab, fixer upper, 3.2, 1940 built. All right, boom. This is perfect. Now, because I'm an actual buyer, so I can just put my information here. But what I'm going to do it as if I am a bird dog. So I'm going to say, hey, Pedro, ¿cómo se llama? So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, hey, Pedro, right? I would love to look at this deal. Could you send it over to me so I can share it with my partner who is buying. Now, I want to make sure that you guys see what I'm doing. Don't try to pretend like you're the buyer. It's a waste of time, right? Don't try to pretend like you're the buyer. Instead, allow yourself to be exposed as a bird dog, because then it makes it easier for people to identify who you are, what you do, and why you're doing it, right? If they can try to sell the deal themselves, but if they can't, they know you got an anchor that's willing to pay money for these deals. They just got to put the right deals in front of you. So now you become a valuable asset to those individuals. Is this making sense? Look at this. All I did was type in Atlanta, and now I get to pick and choose. Now here's one. I want to point something out, guys. Look, there's no address here, right? So you can't just take this information and send this over to your anchor. Like if somebody sent me this, I'd be like, I don't know what you want me to do with this, right? You got to send me some of the information so that I can be able to do what I need to do. So me as an anchor, I typically want the address. I want pictures if they're available. And if pictures is not available, then just tell me how to get access to the property, okay? If you are taking pictures, guys, don't text message your anchor pictures of a property. Instead, take these pictures, okay? If it's on Facebook, you can do this, guys. You can take the picture right here, click it, and then you can't see it, but I'm literally dragging the picture, put it on my desktop, okay? If you're on your computer or if you're on your phone and you can't do it, then just screenshot it, okay? But put it in a Google Drive, send it over with the address, property details, okay, and the price. Picture, address, property details, and price. All right, look, any land buyers here have a market. Now, again, guys, this is just one. Okay, here's a good one. Looking for a serious cash buyer for a 4.3. Multifamily, it's rehab, tenant in there, tenant received Section 8, the receiving tenant, boom. All right, this is great. Now, I'm actually interested in this. I'm interested in this deal. Could you send me the details for me and my buyer partner? Boom. Deals with Charger at Gmail. Just that simple, guys. All right. So this was the intro to bird dogging training. Again, if you want to get access and you want to be able to come along for the next 4 weeks and figure out how we're doing this and how to make money, DM me, go to Instagram, DM me Bird Dog Pack, and I will get this situated for you guys, send it over, and I'll start doing some videos like this so you guys can see it more and more. I honestly feel that this is the way that you want to go about it. You want to be able to get an anchor, and I'll send, and once you send me that stuff too, I will make sure to send you my buy box. But you want to get an anchor, find out what is it that they're looking for. Now you have access to someone who's experienced, know what they're doing, know how to do it, is looking for people who are hungry, who want to make money. And if you're not doing any comping, you're not negotiating with anybody, You're not doing any of this stuff. The guy that brought me the deal, even though he tried to do the deal first, he didn't have to do any negotiation once I stepped in. I did all. In fact, the only thing he did was get me in contact with the agent, and then I called him back 2 days later and told him, "Hey, we got on a contract. What's the name of your company that you want your check to go through? I'm about to send this over to my TC, who is a transaction coordinator, so that she can do all the paperwork because you're going to get paid on this deal because you brought the deal to me." Just that simple. All right. So I said we was going to be on here for an hour. It is an hour's time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back, guaranteed. If you guys need anything, for sure, hit me up on IG. Send me a DM if you got deals and you want to send them over. You saw it, dealswithcharger@gmail.com. That's all for the night. Stay charged up, y'all. Peace.